Hey guys, I took one of those ocean gate things to see the Titanic and it fucking imploded and I died. But luckily I survived, and since I'm literally in the middle of a goddamn ocean, no one's helping me. So I don't know, let's just talk about the ocean itself. So let's just do it. Speaking of, where did all of these water come from? It certainly did not come from a slash fail command, does it? Well, yeah, of course it did not. The real origin of the Earth's water it hasn't really been found yet. Well, there's actually a lot of theories out there concerning about the origin of water on Earth. One of the most common theories states that the Earth's water came from comets and asteroids that smashed the Earth. Wait, no, not like this, like this. Like that. And the water from the asteroid vaporized over the hot surface of the Earth at the time, and then it condensed into clouds, and then it rained for like 100 years or something. And that's where the ocean came from. Simple enough, I call this the Bill Woods theory, because, well, he explained that in his video.
Weather update, weather update, weather update, weather update. It's raining. The entire world is now an ocean.
Another theory states that the Earth actually already has water when it was forming. Back when the solar system was forming, aka there's just gases and random debris all over the place. Earth was forming from one of these debris and gases, and they potentially had water in them. And when the Earth formed, it just stayed in the mantle. We know this because some rocks from over 4 billion years ago shows evidence of some water being present back then. And then the water just appeared on the surface one day? Okay. And yeah, I call this the other theory. And those two theories are probably where Earth's 1.3 billion cubic kilometers of water originated. Probably. There's probably other ways that the Earth could have gotten water at some point, but I can't really think of any other way. Or can I? Now, excuse me for interrupting you, but I want to tell you that only 100% of my viewers are subscribed, which is pathetic, so make sure you violate that subscribe button. Anyways, let's move on to whatever we're doing. Okay, I don't know if it's just me or something, but the ocean is fucking massive. Like your mom. Like, if you look at the Earth from this certain angle, you could just see the ocean, barely any land. That big blue blob, my friend, is of course the Pacific Ocean. We have like 4 other oceans in the world. The Indian, the Atlantic, the Arctic, and this last one you can probably guess. Yup, it's the Southern Ocean. Now, all of these oceans combined make up more than 70% of the surface area on Earth. That is more than there's land on Earth, which is interesting. But if you condense all of the water into the ball, how big would that ball be? It will be this big. Now, I thought it would be bigger than the moon, but wait, it's actually this small? Yeah, exactly. It is. Well, actually, it's not small for regular standards, at least. I mean, for fuck's sakes, it's almost 1400 kilometers, or about 4.5 million feet. That's definitely above the threshold, right, ladies? Alright, let's return that water to Earth. Now we have an ocean again. Now, what we do with the ocean? Explore it, of course. There's over 5 layers of the ocean, and we're gonna explain every single one. Starting with the uppermost layer of the ocean, the photosphere, the sunlight zone, or the photic zone, or whatever you want to call it. Home to over 90% of all marine life due to the sun, that's why it's in the name. Sunlight equals photosynthesis. Photosynthesis equals photosynthesis plankton. Photosynthesis plankton equals food for bigger beings. Bigger beings equals food for even bigger beings. Even bigger beings equals, you get it? Okay, cool. This is the ocean you're most familiar with, because it's probably the only layer you will ever see. In some places, the water is shallow enough, and the photic zone is the only zone, but of course, most of the time it's not. So let's keep moving, or in this case, diving. 700 meters below the ocean surface is a lot, especially for a dive. Let's look at a map. We are here, and the deepest diving world record is here. As we sink deeper and deeper, the light fades away with every meter, and also the pressure increases. Bad. So at this depth, we can barely see and we're getting squished a little bit, but not much. Oh yeah, we're at the twilight zone, by the way, if you didn't know. The twilight zone marks the transition between the ocean surface and the deep sea. Here, most fish and other animals spend half their days here. During the day, they swim down to these depths to rest, recover, and avoid predators. And when night falls, they can more safely go up again and safely eat food. This is called a diel-vertical migration, and it's one of many ways that marine life gets food and stuff. Another way that DoorDash delivers food to fish is by something called marine snow. Marine snow is basically a combination of these things that rains down mostly into the twilight zone, where many different animals could eat it. It's one of the most important food source for the deep sea, as without it, yeah, obviously. Let's just keep diving. Oh shit, I just killed an entire population. 1.5 kilometers below the surface. It's getting really scary now. Remember our good old friend photosynthesis? Yeah, forget about this. This is the Midnight Zone, a place of absolute darkness, so it's useless now. And it's a very hard place to swim here because of the water pressure. At this point, it's around 3000 psi, which is the same pressure exerted from an alligator, which is a lot. Food is very scarce here, so life had to adapt with the low levels of food. Like the vampire squid, who actually sucks the blood of other organisms. Nah, I'm just kidding, it just cleverly filters food from the environment by simply moving. Here we can also find the most iconic deep sea fish. Yes, you can already guess it. It's Christise the blobfish. Yeah, they're found here. But in reality, they don't look like this. They look more like this. This one's wrong. If we go deeper at around 4,000 meters, the boundary with the abyssal zone down further, we hit the seabed. Most of the ocean ends here. Most of the seabed is full of nothing, but in some places, like here, hydrothermal vents are present. Hydrothermal vents spew out chemicals and minerals which supports an ecosystem that's without sun. But we don't have much time to appreciate it, so let's keep moving. At below 4,000 meters is the abyssal zone. There is no light, nada, which means there are no plants, which means there are no oxygen. Plus, swimming here will be like walking on the planet Venus. You would die instantly, which is why it's the second most sparsely populated layer of the ocean. With food here rather than a new oversimplified video, life really had to adapt, like heavily relying on marine snow and hydrothermal vents. And the last fact, the abyssal zone covers 60% of the surface area on Earth, so you can say this zone is abyssally huge. I want to fucking die. Right, where are we? 6,000 meters below the surface, so around here. It turns out that's halfway to the bottom, so let's go. The Hadal zone, the Hadal zone is only really located in ocean trenches. There's like 50 of them around the world. Most famous being, you guessed it, the trench we found in World War I, the Mariana, of course. You think I'm dumb? Actually, I am dumb. Holy shit. Within the Mariana Trench is a point known as Challenger Deep, more than 11,000 meters below the surface. This is the deepest point of the ocean. The water pressure at this point is 15,000 psi. That's 160 times the pressure of Venus. So yeah, at this point, you're gonna become an IKEA meatball after 5 seconds. The Challenger Deep has only been visited by a whopping 3 people. Don Walsh and Jacques Picard in 1960, and the most recent being in 2012 by James Cameron. But you know who else has visited this place? Plastic bags. Who the fuck did the fish did this? Alright, let's return back to the surface waters. On average, it takes like 5 hours to do so, but for me, it takes less than a second because I use the power of NordVPN. I use the power of editing, aka just changing backgrounds. It's not really that hard. Okay, cool, I'm in the surface again. So, we have only explored like 5% of the oceans, so this video could very well be outdated in 10 years, in 5 years, in a year, in a second, who knows. My takeaway is, I know, I'm not Aristotle, the fuck you think I am? Hey, future kosraa here. Now, you might be wondering, why the hell am I in Minecraft? Well... Alright, now I'm gonna talk about oceans outside of Earth, TM. Hey, that's a cool company name, I guess. Now, is there oceans or at least water outside of Earth? Shockingly, yes, there is. In fact, it's basically well known that all these objects in space have water. Jupiter's moon Europa, in fact, has twice as much water that is on Earth. Bet you didn't know that. Of course, these waters aren't on the surface or anything because duh, but they do exist underground. So yeah, water 100% no doubt exists outside of Earth. But what about outside the solar system? It's kind of a harder question to answer. Well, there is still definitely some chance that water exists outside the solar system, aka in exoplanets and other planets, you know? You know what I'm talking about? I mean, just look at all of these exoplanets speculated to be having water and stuff. Now, all of these planets have one thing in common. They're all in the habitable zone of their stars. Habitable? Does that mean everything there has life? No, it just means that the water wouldn't fucking die. Ah. So, have we discovered a second blue marble? Or a second Earth at least? Shockingly, we haven't even really confirmed an exoplanet that 100% has water, let alone a second Earth. This is because these candidate planets are, let's just say, either too hot, too cold, too big, or doesn't even exist. So for now, the answer to this question is maybe, probably, I don't know. Let's just hope that the James Webb Space Telescope changes that. Alright, before I end this video, I just want to mention one more time, that you should probably subscribe because these videos takes forever to make. I literally took a month to make this video, so please subscribe. Anyways, as I always say, adios nerds.